On Thursday, they'll tip it off a homestand starting with the Milwaukee Bucks. Then on Saturday, they'll tip off a road trip in Boston where they'll take on the Celtics.
And that game against Mesa, that's a contest that I'll keep an eye on. That'll be the 5th time they take to the floor, and they want to get off to a quick start.
Now the starting group for the visitors. They've got Carter. O'Neal is out there with Noah. Then it's Tracy McGrady, and it's Morant in at the point guard position. And for Mexico City, we've got Johnson. Jones is out there with Johnson. Then it's Pau Gasol, and it's Pippen in at the 3 spot. How important, Greg, is it to a team's confidence to start this season strong?
All right, so first things first, we are not about to go through every single second of the game. We are about to go through, just the cool parts, just the good parts. But I do want to kind of break down the game a little bit. So, it's going to be a few clips. Nothing crazy. First and foremost, we are going against IMG Academy. This is their first year in the Ultimate All-Time League. Before we've had Overtime Elite playing in the Orlando practice facility. And we had John Morant playing for the Orlando Overtime Elite basically before they went to Atlanta and had their own stadium. And then we had GOAT Academy the next year in Season 2. Kevin Love was playing for them. Vince Carter was playing for them. Kevin Love played with them just because, again, he played in Florida before. This was also in the Orlando Magic practice facility, so it was pretty much the Orlando GOAT Academy. By the way, Vince Carter was on the Raptors the first season, and I believe he was on GOAT Academy with Tracy McGrady the next season. So now we have IMG Academy out of Tampa, Florida. They're really out of Tampa, Florida. That's not like a thing. Tampa is also on the game, so they're really in Tampa, Florida. It's not like a imaginary lore thing. Oh, there goes a tip dunk. I'm wearing Cobra 1's Cobra 1 Mints. I created that colorway last year in 2K24. I like the concept. It just so happened that it kind of fits our colorway, so I was like, you know what? Let's bring the Cobra 1 Mints into 2K25, shall we? So that's what I'm wearing on this first home game. It's Premier Week. This is our first ever home game of the season in Mexico City. Our first time our fans get to see us play for real. Did a little ISO on John Morant right there. So yeah, we have John Morant used to playing in Florida right now just because he played for the Elite in Season 1. You have Vince Carter and T-Mac from Tampa, Florida themselves. So that was a no-brainer to go into IMG. Also, Tracy McGrady was drafted out of high school. This is a high school prep academy, so that kind of fits right in there. Also, the power forward Jermaine O'Neal was drafted out of high school. Also, he played for a high school team, the Renfield Red Foxes, in Season 1. I can't necessarily remember what team he played for Season 2, but I think it might have been yeah, I don't know. But
it's an interesting matchup. Two teams that don't
yeah, basically he's playing for high school, and then you got Joakim Noah, who won 2 championships at the University of Florida. So he knows about playing in Florida, IMG Academy in Tampa. Why not? Why not? Also, just the prospect of a prime Vince Carter and a prime Tracy McGrady on the same team is just too tantalizing, man. It really is. Josh Smith with the alley-oop. That's what I'm talking about. Game 1, Josh Smith had some interesting choices, so you just tweak the tendencies a little bit. I don't touch attributes, that's cheating. But I do sometimes tweak play types and tendencies just to kind of fit the game plan of what we got going on and not necessarily your own personal shit you got going on. You know what I mean? Like this is for everyone to move smoothly and be in the right place on offense as far as play types and tendencies. You know what I mean? Like Josh Smith for 3, he can make that, but he's not out here busting a whole bunch of threes. You feel me? Like that was just something he makes occasionally, and he occasionally just made it. Getting into the end of the second quarter right here, Gerald Wallace. IMG is full of younger, athletic, just people in general. You know what I'm saying? Gerald Wallace, aka Crash, on the team, can shoot mid-range well, goes to the basket really well. I'm surprised T-Mac missed that one. We got Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Introduced him game 1 in Mexico City because he doesn't like America. Paul Gasol with the second take of the possession, getting that and one. I mean, T-Mac and Vince are actually going crazy. I'm not gonna lie. John Morant's doing okay, but really this team is T-Mac and Vince at the end of the day, which is fine because our team is just, I don't know, me and the rest of the cast. Jermaine O'Neal with the swat going all the way down coast to coast.
O'Neal's got his first bucket in this one.
That's a young Jermaine O'Neal too. He still got the braids. That's like when he got drafted onto the Blazers when he first got out of high school type shit. They also have a young Kenny Smith. Kenny's like basically right out of college in this game. I think he's like 21 years old or some shit like that. 21, 22. So I decided to put the young guy on. T-Mac doing what he does best.
Welcome, one and all. Before we hear Kenny and Shaq's insights on that first half, let's look ahead and check out the upcoming schedule.
You know, right now for Mexico City, hey, their spirits are high. They have a chance to start the season on a winning streak. Build up that momentum, guys.
The way they looked in that first game, it certainly wouldn't be a surprise. And going back now to that first half, you could say things are going extremely well for Mexico City.
Bench mob. They've been on one, giving those starters a breather, and it's providing instant offense.
That depth also critical to staying out of foul trouble. And that about wraps it up. And as the third quarter is about to begin, we go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Well, he's in a great rhythm, looking comfortable and confident.
So it's the visitors now, trailing by 10. So with Smith sitting on the bench, here's the group that Steve Kerr has on the floor. Johnson.
Shit gets real immediately as soon as we start the third quarter. Shout out to our guy Eddie Jones going crazy with the shots. And that's kind of like why I have play types and all this other shit. So people like Eddie Jones can actually do what they need to do. People like Paul Gasol can hit the shots that they need to hit because they're in the right places to do so. John Morant, of course, he's going to get his. T-Mac and Vince, as long as we can kind of hold them a little bit, we'll be okay. We do have Scottie Pippen, who's really good at defense. He is going against T-Mac, so there's only so much he can do. But he is doing enough. Let's put it that way. He's definitely doing enough. The game plan is pretty simple yet difficult at the same time. you know, because we have to play tight on people like John Morant. At the same time, you kind of have to back off on people like Vince and Ja and T-Mac, because they're going to blow right past you if you try to play too close. You feel me? So you can't play too close to either of these people, or else at the same time, like you just seen John Morant, you put too much room, he's just gonna jack that three, and sometimes it's gonna go in. T-Mac jacked a few threes, Vince jacked a few threes, trying to contain Vince. You know, I'm bumping him in the lane, then he's sliding right past me for the oop. Yeah, they may not be the most talented team in this league, but they're one of the most top-heavy teams in the league, I will say. I will say. What Vince is doing, what T-Mac's doing, what Jaw's doing is like, it's not unstoppable, but it's pretty difficult to contain. Let's put it that way. And really, it's not really about containing for us, because we don't even have the right personnel for defense to contain anybody. Honestly, like, other than Scottie Pippen, nobody's containing nobody, bro. Like, let's be real. I'm not. Jerry West has dropped 40 on my head last game. Just last game, bro. He dropped like 40 plus on my head. I'm surprised we even won the game. But, hey, man, it is what it is, bro. The pump fakes, sooner or later, these pump fakes are not going to get me. But for right now, there's so many talented people. There's so many people just ready to score. It gets me. It gets me, man. Setting up that pick in the right place. You know, sometimes you got to press that button at the right time, just so you can kind of get yourself open a little bit. It's a little strategy I use, especially in transition sometimes. If I see our big men near me, sometimes I'll pick the right time and place for them to set that pick up while people are still picking up people on defense and transition. And then I just kind of take advantage of the lack of personnel in the paint, which is something we're always going to have, by the way. We're always going to have that ability to get in the paint, just because we're usually playing some type of style of 5 out, you know, because everybody can do anything. You know, Paul Gasol he can hit a 3 every now and then. You know, he just hit a mid-range, low post. Larry Johnson hit a 3. You know, Eddie Jones, Mahmoud hitting 3s. You know, we 5 out with it. That paint is wide the fuck open, and that's perfect, right? I know I missed that layup in the fourth quarter, but at the same time, the shit is perfect, bro, because that's just an open lane for me. You know, I don't mind having the John Morant shot chart with like a bunch of circles around the rim and maybe like 1 or 2 outside of the paint. It's so wide open, why not take advantage of that? You feel me? Like, even right here, Kenny Smith did a little backup, fake used a pick, hop step, double clutch under. He has no chance of touching it. Maybe Chet did, but he had no idea what was going on in the paint. I'm in front of him anyway. That's what happens when the paint is wide open. You can kind of start doing whatever you want to a little bit. Coca-Cola Arena, man, that shit's crazy. That has to be some type of like Mayan Mexican symbol in the middle right there, because I've seen that a few times with a few teams. I've seen that with like anything with Aztecs. Like, I remember, I think I made the New Mexico's Aztecs, and that was the symbol right there in the middle. So that's obviously a connection to some type of Mexican root or something like that. Honestly, don't know too much about it, but I do recognize that symbol. I've seen it for years now. For years, especially in creative team, I've seen that symbol for years, bro. I think it's cool. It has a little basketball in the middle, honestly. All right, time for the Men in Black flash. About to flash your eyes real quick. You didn't see shit. You didn't see a fucking thing, bro. We're sitting here down 3. Our game plan is pretty much the same against 3 people. Play tight off ball, play medium, on ball, no hedges, and pretty much a dig in the post. Like, we're not going to double team when you dribble in the post, but we're going to send somebody real quick just to, you know, throw their hand in there, throw their hand in the match, and then slide right back out the paint to their man again. That's what a dig is. And we got a dig on T-Mac. We got a dig on Ja Morant. We got a dig on fucking Vince Carter, just because we have nobody on defense today. And like I said, Scotty can only do something. And Paul Gasol. There's highlights of Paul Gasol getting dunked. He does have highlights of dunking on people in Memphis when he was on the Grizzlies, but for the most part, Blake Griffin pretty much ended his whole rep of being any type of defensive anything. Splash! Nigga. We're down 5 with 40 seconds left. What do you think is about to happen? Block, SWAT, get that shit out of here. Larry Johnson, to me, the spin, the 3. Oh. All right, so we're down 3. 20-something seconds left. If this was on auto foul, we would have fouled them already and put us up. I mean, put us down 5. And that's not what I do. I put that shit on manual just because the computer don't know when to foul, bro. You shouldn't be fouling right now. You have 3 whole seconds, bro. Look at that. He didn't even use the whole shot clock. Now we got 7 whole seconds for a 3. If we would have fouled y'all, we would have been in a shitty position right now. Eddie Jones been shooting it well all fucking game. It only took him 2 seconds. Just 2. Scottie Pippen on T-Mac. Great defense. Great defense. Winning the overtime. We're up by 3. 1 minute left in the overtime. I'm looking just to put the nail in the coffin. That's all I want to do. That's not going to do it. That's not going to cut it. We got to get a little bit more precise with it. There we go with another block. Paul Gasol going crazy.
Johnson kicks to Johnson. Johnson with a screen on O'Neal. Outside, Jones. Pass to Johnson. Fires the 3. And Jermaine O'Neal pulls it down.
All right. So that didn't work either. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. I'll take that. Because we're not missing these free throws. This just gives them a chance to have to shoot the 3 themselves, because I'm not missing it.
So it gets them both, and it's a 3-point game.
Well, those are essential free throws to make.
Now it's up to them. We were down 3 seconds left. We hit that 3. Now y'all got a whole 10 more seconds than we had to hit a 3. Y'all got plenty of time. Vince Carter wasted that time. This man ran into somebody, took a charge. This shit really over now. I don't know what ref calls charges at the end of the game, but he did obviously just run through somebody, so I don't know what you do in that situation. It's kind of weird that it ends on the charge. T-Mac hit in the clutch 3. It don't really matter. This game's over, baby.
And so it's Mexico City winning this one. And they had some nervous moments down the stretch, but things finally came together for them in overtime.
Yeah, probably didn't anticipate that this one would be that close down the wire, but give them credit. They were able to regroup in that overtime, and this win has to feel satisfying.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. But as we go, let's take a look at our player of the game, the Cobra.
Yeah, so 38, 30, 36, excuse me. 14 and 15 is beautiful. 17 points, that is beautiful also. Vince had, oh my God, 40, 30, and 30.